Welcome back, guys. Phil2Real here with Sonic Mania Part 2. Where we last left off, we beat Green Hill Zone, and now we're in Chemical Plant Zone. So now we're in Sonic 2's level. And this one, I wouldn't say this is my favorite one from Sonic 2, but it's definitely one of the more iconic ones. Personally, I would prefer Mystic Cave Zone or even Hilltop Zone. We do kind of get Sky Chase Zone. But as you can see there, we got our first special ring of this level. So we're doing, this is the third one or the fourth one? I think this is the fourth one. I could be wrong. But yeah, so right here, we gotta chase up the UFO. This one's difficulty amps up quite a bit. That bubble right there, I like to save it for when I come back around when I have Mach 2. I feel a little bit more comfortable getting it when I'm at Mach 2 than Mach 1. But yeah, so a lot more spikes, a lot more area to fall off, a lot more bombs, a lot more spikes, a lot more like anything that can hurt you, do you any harm. So right here, we're gonna keep on going, get this area of blue orbs, get that ring, get hit by the spikes you see there, it knocked my ring count down. So here, I jump, get that, get 10 rings, get some more blue orbs. We're gonna get to Mach 3 here, get those rings. It gives me plenty of time to catch up now. So now we're gonna speed up, take the same path that the balloon took, UFO, I'm sorry. Ooh, almost lost it right there. But you can see Mach 3, you have a lot more speed, you have a lot more distance with the jump, so things you would not have been able to clear before, now you do. And with that, we have the fourth emerald, and that's the purple one. And now I'm gonna do something here to save some time, and then also to get more of the emeralds on this level. I'm going to save and restart. I mean, that might be a little bit frowned upon with some people, but we're going to get all the emeralds here. So we're going to save, restart, and then I believe this costs us a life, but you know, lives are plenty in Sonic Mania. Oh no, it didn't even cost me a life. Awesome. I mean, awesome. So now we're going to change paths, and we're going to go to the upper path now, and it's going to allow us to get another Chaos Emerald. Now, I do believe it's the 5th emerald that takes me 3 attempts to get, so spoiler alert, we're going to mess up. And also, you're going to see some rage on my part happen, because I get a little bit salty when I messed up on this 5th emerald. So I keep going here, bounce off those 2 and springs, and then jump and go into this one. And this is the one that I always have the most trouble with. It's not the 6th one, it's not the 7th one, it's always this 5th emerald. And boop, mess up right there. That always gets me in. Quick jump cut. So we'll get back to Emerald Path proper here in a little bit. So we don't want to go down this loop. We want to actually go up here. And the thing about Chemical Plant Zone is it's a miss. The first act of Chemical Plant Zone Sonic Mania is actually the 2 acts of Sonic 2's Chemical Plant Zone. Right here, I think this is where we start to get into Act 2 right here. This long downhill roll into here. This is Act 2 now, I believe. So now we're going to go and try to get this emerald again. Spoiler alert, we're not going to get it, but at least we can see the whole level. So not this time, we're not going to jump. We're just going to run, get our orbs, and then get those rings. And those pads right there, I generally will wait until Mach 2. Would rather build up my speed right here. Got plenty of rings. So we jump, get those, get more time. Get those rings, get more time. And so slow, steady grind. Here I should have went left. Instead I went right. The left path is the way that the UFO takes, and that's the way that you catch up. If you go the path I did, you're not going to make very much time. If you keep taking that path, you're never going to catch up to the UFO, even with Mach 3. That was the biggest thing that took me forever to get used to. So you want to make sure that you go that way, to the left, not to the right. It's not so bad the first time around on this track, because you have plenty of rings, plenty of time, but if you keep doing it, you're never going to catch up. So make sure you here, I'm going to jump on that, get those rings, I'm going to get here, and I'm going to try to get the trifecta right there, but I didn't. I got 2, and then now we get Mach 3. This is where I should be super duper careful, because again, you have less control. Okay, I can take that path, that's the path the UFO takes. At this point, I just want to get to the UFO, so I'm avoiding, jump in, try to speed up, get more rings, get some more time. I took the wrong way, and like a dum-dum, I went that way. Should have just kept going the path I was originally going. Get some more rings, and here's my mistake. No, not yet. Keep going, keep going. And of course I got a bonus right there. If you go, there's no Mach 4, but if you end up filling it up, you get a bonus. I believe it gets you a continue, and this is the only continue that we get. Right here is my mistake. I got so caught up in trying to stay on track and avoid those spikes that I just lost control, wasn't paying attention, I fell right off the map. And kept this one in because as a continue, at this point, Phil started calming down a bit. So now let's go back. So Chemical Plant Zone 1. So there is one more ring that I know of in this. We're going to go down. It's actually back on the first right going back up. So get up there. Tails of course makes this a godsend. If you're just playing regular Sonic, I don't think you can really get back up here after you fall down. And in reality, I should have went about this a different way, because I'm going to make a mistake here and Sonic's going to die, unfortunately, because it's really hard to get back down there to the top. So we die, we get crushed to death. Getting crushed will kill you no matter how many rings you have. So should have went left up here. A lot of Sonic games have hidden paths in the walls. That's why you'll normally see me hug walls when I come out of places. If you can see through a wall, that's normally a good sign that you can have a hidden path. We're going to go down here, go to the right. There's our next big ring. This time we're going to get it. And this time you're going to see me go after it like a madman. Or a mad hedgehog, if you think Sonic's crazy. So we're going to start pretty strong here. Get that. Build up our speed right here. I think by the time we get to the big open area, we'll be hitting Mach 2. And we're going to go left. I don't think we're going to go right. We'll get those rings. Get these rings. Get up some more speed. And the thing, something that I just noticed right now, because when you're playing this, you don't really look at the background so much. You end up getting so focused on what you're trying to do, catch up to the thing. You don't really look at it. It's nice. It's this nice futuristic, background. And it also reminds me of I forgot the name of the Order realm in Mortal Kombat. I think it's Sato, maybe. I don't know. That's what it reminds me of. And then another thing you saw me get there was an orb with a up arrow. That automatically knocks you up to the next Mach level. So if you get that, you're going to go fast as soon as you open it. So that was our 6th emerald. Now we need one more. We'll get that in the next act. And unfortunately, I didn't learn from my mistake. Sonic is all about the speed and everything, but you want to practice patience sometimes. And the good thing about having the bubble shield is you won't drown being underwater, but you most certainly will get killed if you crush Sonic's head, like you saw me do that right there. So let's try this again. So I'm going to zoom, go left, zoom, spin dash, go left, jump in that hidden path. We're going to go through here. This is going to launch us into a bubble shield. And that's the reason why I like that hidden path, to get to a bubble shield. So you don't have to worry about drowning if you're kind of slow on this part. Because if you are slow, you have about, I want to say 10 seconds. And then all of a sudden you'll hear that infamous Sonic music where you're drowning. I like to, in my head, haven't actually died to drown in a very, very long time. But when I hear it, I think, running out of time, running out of time, running out of time, running out of time. But I digress. So with the bubble shield, you can bounce. Not as useful as a lightning shield, but a lightning shield, if you jump in water, you'll lose it in Sonic 3. But I don't think there's water in Sonic Mania where there's a thunder shield, so you can't get a thunder shield and then lose it like that, like you could in Sonic 3. But bubble shield is always great with underwater sections. It's very useful in the zone that happens after Stardust Speedway, Hydropolis, or Hydro City. I prefer Hydro City, Hydropolis. Some people like it that way, I don't. But I'm going to up here, hit this thing, and we get to the end of the first act. And of course, impatience gets the better of me, and I just go after this thing haphazardly. I believe something amoeba. I can't pronounce that thing. I think it's Hydro Amoeba. I think that's the name of this boss. But yeah, it's pretty easy. If you just avoid the attacks like I did, it'll let down its guard, and you can, beat it to death. I think 6 hits. 6 hits was what killed it. So now we're on Act 2. Act 2's music, phenomenal. As I said, the music to these Act 2 levels, a lot of times, in my opinion, they just beat out the first act. The first act's pretty iconic in their own way, their own special way, because, the original, without them, we wouldn't have these upgraded Act 2 tracks. So we're going to continue, and, something about the older Sonic levels and going to Act 2 and its different backgrounds on it, it's just very, very visually appealing instead of recycling the same backgrounds. Because I understand that first 2 Sonic games, they probably didn't have as much memory on the carts. In Sonic 3, they probably upgraded the memory, especially with the Sonic and Knuckles add-on. Gave it more memory. They could play around with more visuals, but just seeing Chemical Plant Zone from a different point of view, it's very, very it makes me appreciate the developers taking the time to do this. They could have just copy and pasted, Act 1's background and then just ran with it, but they gave it a completely new coat of paint with Act 2, and it's a unique level on top of it. This is not in the original Sonic 2. The background is different, the music is phenomenal, it's the different remix track, and here you're gonna see me go left when I should just drop down. And yeah, it's just an overall a new experience. You get that old feel with the first act, and you get a new experience in the second act. That's just something I appreciate. Okay, so we're gonna go here, go up in this helix bubble, hit the speed booster, go down, up and down, all around. I just made a Sonic reference right there. I digress. I wanted to catch that bubble, but I didn't. So I'm gonna wait for Tails get his self down here, catch a ride, get to the top of the loop, then we're jumping to the bubble. Go back up here, and we're getting really close to, yes, right here. So you want to go in that little spot in the wall right there, not hit the worms. Right there. Here's our next ring. That's our last emerald, and we get the emerald on this first try. No, this is the 6th emerald, not the 5th emerald. Sorry, but this one we still get it. So I like to hit those springs right there, ramp, get these rings, get some extra time on thing. It doesn't hurt to get that on the very first go. I say for Act 6 is pretty easy, but there is almost next to no guardrails on the side of the map when you get to the middle and towards the end of the lap. So you want to be very careful. Stay on the road. Don't venture off the purple. And if you're going to do it, make sure you have some ramp that you're going to be able to jump onto. So right there, we'll take a shortcut. I'm not going to take the whole path around. I'm going to jump over the purple. Jump over the purple right there. Make a little bit of time. We'll jump right there, save those on the next lap. I just want to focus on closing the distance, because when we get to Mach 3, we want to be able to catch that thing towards the beginning of Mach 3. Otherwise, we're going to be slipping and sliding all over the place, trying not to fall off the map. And then we should get it right here on the second lap. So, right there. It's alright if I land on a little bit of the purple. Now we're on Mach 3. So now we're in what I call danger zone. Is super fast, and of course you have little control, and at this point you can run on the purple and it'll be alright. You won't run out of speed, and you see there, we got it, not a problem. You can take those shortcuts by jumping over the colored floor, which in this case is purple, and land back on the road, and just make sure you're turning as you're jumping. If you just jump and don't hold a direction, you're just going to fly straight. So jump and hold a direction that you want to go, left or right, and then you should be good. So that's our 6th emerald. We got one more. It's another hidden spot, but we'll get it. So the thing about Chemical Plant Zone 2 is that it has to do with chemicals and inside of a plant. But these syringes, you're gonna pump it into the chemicals down there, and it'll turn it from a different color. Normally, a color that won't let you springboard off really well. But when you change it to a different color, it'll launch you. It's very much like Wacky Workbench from Sonic CD. So this is again a mix and match of an older Sonic level, Sonic 2's Chemical Plant Zone, and then Wacky Workbench's, you know, floor design without the annoyance of it. Because if you ever played Sonic CD, Wacky Workbench is probably one of my least favorite levels. Least favorite levels. The music is very catchy, both the English and the Japanese version of the track. But yeah, this is our final act. You want to make sure you jump over these pits, get your rings. This is a pretty easy final special zone. I think I get it by the beginning or the middle of my second lap. So right there, jump, get that, fills it up about a quarter. Get some more blue orbs. I'm gonna avoid those right ones. I'm gonna focus on the left. Jump there, get some rings, build up some time. And here we can build some more time. Watch out right there. I almost fell down the pit. Stay with it. Stay with that balloon. Stay on its tail. You'll be alright. Build up your speed. Do that little shortcut. The balloon kind of like stalls you out and lets you recover a little bit. And right here we should get, boom, the easiest final emerald in, I would argue, any Sonic game. So now we're going to get, our prompt says, hey, now we can be Super Sonic. And you can do this when you have 50 rings. And the thing about the patches they did to this game is originally, if you just jumped and you just double jump in the air, which is very easy to do in this game, you automatically turn into Super Sonic. But in the later patches, they now added a little nifty prompt at the top right. If you get 50 rings, it'll say push, I think in my case, because I'm using the Xbox controller, it says Y, turn Super Sonic. So you can double jump and not worry about this. And this right here is our boss. One of the more unique bosses. One of my least favorite type of games. I'm not a big fan of Tetris. But this game is 9 times out of 10 is going to be down the luck. I'm very horrible at this, as you can see. I kind of do okay at the beginning, but when he starts to lock down my areas of putting my Tetris pieces, I don't even know what this is called, but this is from Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. But you can put 4 of a color next to each other. As long as they're connected, they'll disappear, and then you'll start to flood Robotnik's box with black mean beans, I guess. And then he can't really match those, and you lock him out of a potential, color. But the reverse also could be true for you. If he does what he's about to do right here soon, he's going to lock a lot of my colors I've been building up to where I can't do anything. But he's being a real dingle dork about it, because as you can see, his left side's getting really filled up. And right here, this is where he locks me out, I believe. Boom. So I can't mess with my yellow, and I most definitely can't mess with that red I was about to make disappear. So right now he has me on the ropes, I would argue, because I'm not the best at this. And what made me hate this game a lot more in recent time is if you ever play Trails of Cold Steel or Trails in the Reverie, there's a game called Palm Panic, I think. It's basically like Tetris, but their version of it. And for you to get some of the better items in the game, you have to do that game. I just hate it. But I digress. That was the boss. It's not a traditional boss. You just want to make sure that Robotnik fills up his box and he dies the way he did. So now we're in I would argue, my favorite new zone, original zone, Studiopolis zone. It gives me real big Casino Night zone and what is it? Spring Yard zone from Sonic 1, because the color. So yeah, you have that. Sorry for a little hiccup, folks. My cat jumped on the keyboard, hit pause. But anyways, yeah. So the color really reminds me of, Spring Yard Zone. Spring Yard Zone is my absolute favorite level from the original Sonic. And you're probably wondering, well, Phil, where's the Casino Night part? That's coming in Act 2. But yeah, there's another ring. If you haven't gotten all your Chaos Emeralds yet, you can follow that path that I took, and there's an extra ring right there. But when you have all the emeralds and you collect it, you get 50 more. And as you can see there on my top right screen, it says Y and it has an S. That's letting me know that, hey, you have enough rings to go supersonic. All you gotta do is jump and press Y, and then boom, you get invincibility mode for as many rings as you have. Because when you're in supersonic, you run out of rings gradually. Like 1 second is one ring, and when you run out of rings, you go back to normal summoning. And this is a double-edged sword, because of course, if you run out of rings and you have no shield, you are very liable to die if you're not careful. And the fire shield, very useful shield. Fortunately, I don't hold on to it long enough to use it against this boss. I lose it within the first round of this boss. So this is the first hard-boiled heavy. I believe its name's Heavy Gunner. I used to call it hard-boiled baddie. I still call it that, but it's actually hard-boiled heavies. So you want to jump over the red missiles and hit the blue missiles, and you'll launch that missile, and you'll hit one of the egg robots. So if you look, he has 2 more plus the ship he's on, helicopter, and you can see there it has wonky hit detection. So now I'm very liable to die, but unfortunately I don't. So good thing there's rings in this boss fight. So we go get some more rings, and then we're back in the fight. So we gotta do this 2 more times. Once more to knock out the baddie next, riding shotgun to him, or not riding shotgun to him, but the one flying next to him. So we jump over that, avoid it. Tails, thank you for taking the hit for me. Hit that, jump over that, and then takes out 1 more, and he has 1 more hit point. And I love how fast this level moves and the transition sequences. So he shoots. This will be his last hit. So I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna spin dash in it. Just run and push down. It'll hit him, and then he's dead. And don't worry about the helicopter. You can touch it and it won't hurt you. Boom. We are done with Act 1. Pretty fast level, fast paced. I know I didn't really talk much about it, but it's a very fun zone. It's very quick, very fast. The warp points with the bands are how you get around the level quickly, in my opinion. But now we're in the second part, and this part here reminds me of Casino Night Zone. And then I think it's Studiopolis in Sonic Heroes, I believe. This also gives me big Casinopolis zone vibes. I believe that's what it is in Sonic Heroes. If I get that wrong, I'm sure someone will correct me down in the comments. But yeah, this level, it's very fun. It's very platformy. I like it. You can jump here on the lights. You have to jump on top of the lights and then not jump on the Orbot right here. When it's not spinning, you can jump and destroy its little orbs to make your way to hitting the actual robot itself to take it out. So right here we get another big ring. If you stay towards the top, you'll get rewarded with that. And then here we have some Wheel of Fortune kind of cards to flip over. Gives you extra points for flipping them over. I've never really taken the time to fill those out. But yeah, and then boom, I get hit with spikes. So that's one thing about it. You go so fast, you're not paying attention. You can also go so fast you don't activate certain parts of the map, or level rather, not map. Like you saw there, I should have went down when I ran along that floor. Didn't, so I got met by spikes. So sometimes going fast isn't the best way to go about it. Right here, I'm going to hit this, and now I'm going to go down instead of going up. So I'll go up and down all around again, and then I'm going to take out this bot, and then I'm going to hit this. I didn't want to jump and hit that, because as soon as you hit that, you're going to teleport. So I'm trying to get Tails to go left so I can get him to fly me over. But since he did the noble thing and be the sacrifice, knock that thing out, I can jump over and get that lightning shield. And if you hold on to this lightning shield, you'll make the boss infinitely easier. You can destroy the boss before he even gets a chance to do anything. So I'm going to luckily hold on to this. And you should hold on to this, because again, double jumping is really nice. you'll get to a section later on where you can actually accidentally hit a regular shield. Don't do that. I almost do it, but for some reason it didn't register the hit. So luckily that didn't happen to me. So we go down here, go around, and I believe this is right where, no, not yet. Whatever you do, don't spin. Follow the path, follow the loops. Of course, I don't take my own advice here, but luckily I stopped myself. Do a snowbot, go back up, go back around, right here. This is right where, so don't spin, don't spin. See right there, almost hit that. Luckily it didn't. I guess I hit the little bitty edge on the side. It canceled out my momentum. I didn't hit the box. So we're gonna hit that, go back around, go around, and then we're already at the boss. Go a few more loops right here. And so if you get the double jump, you can easily make short work of this boss, as you can see here. Now, if you were to fight this boss proper, he does have some thunderstorm. If you stand right underneath him, he's gonna, you know, strike you with thunder. But those little poles, the little gray poles on the side, that's what you're gonna use to beat him. I believe I haven't fought this boss the legit way in so long, but you grab those and then you can jump and then you can hit the boss. And now we'll get to my favorite act of OG Sonic, Flying Battery Zone. And then interesting thing about this, I'm going to talk a little bit after the cutout, but there's an interesting thing, glitch with the original version of this game. Very first time I played this game, it just kept playing the television, but Sonic didn't go. And so you see Flying Battery Zone just leave and fly Sonic behind. That's just hilarious. But anyways, that's the end of part 2. We're going to catch back with my favorite zone from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Flying Battery Zone. Catch you in the next one, guys. Later. Bye.